Will you all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Can I get a roll call, Antoinette,
Mr.
please?
Burns?
Here.
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. D'Andriano?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
First on tonight's agenda is First on tonight's agenda is a public hearing on the proposed zoning amendments to our town code. Don, do you have the public notice?
I do. Town of Patterson notice of hearing, amendments to Chapter 154 of the Patterson Town Code. Public notice is hereby given that there has been introduced before the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York on April 26, 2017, an amendment to Patterson Town Code Chapter 154 entitled Zoning, which amendment will incorporate several clarifications to definitions and other sections of the zoning code, amend the sign regulations, provide for bed and breakfast establishments, and provide for a number of legislative changes. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 20 of the Municipal Home Rule Law, the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid amendment at the town offices, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on May 24, 2017, at 7 p.m. of the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested therein shall be heard. The Town Board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and/or reasonable accommodations should contact the town clerk. April 27, 2017, by order of the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, Antoinette Kopek, Town Clerk.
Just to expand on what our town attorney has just read, so everybody knows what we're doing here, over the course of years using the zoning code, we've run into a number of areas that require clarification, and a lot of these changes in here at this point are just housekeeping. We're modifying a number of definitions such as commercial trade operations, the area of a building, automotive dealership. We're adjusting the rules and regulations on fences, construction trailers, permits for carnivals. We're modifying some accessory uses in the residential zone. To be perfectly clear, there is been proposed to the town board a change for zoning on Cornwall Hill Road. That change is not under consideration in any way, shape, or form tonight. That will be presented to the town board at a later date and put out for public hearing so everybody can have a chance to take a look at it and comment on it. Not tonight. So, good. So, does anybody have any questions or comments they wish to offer on the proposed zoning changes?
Should be like crickets.
Yeah, we got to get some background noise in here.
Paul, can you add that in?
Yeah.
No, this is the second public hearing. All right, hearing no comments or questions, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, next on tonight's agenda, we have a public hearing on an assembly permit for, I've got to get the farm right, 3J Ranch on 683 Route 311. Don, do you have the public hearing?
I do. Notice of public hearing on public assembly permit, Town of Patterson, County of Putnam, State of New York. Please take notice that by resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York, adopted at a meeting of said board on May 10, 2017, a public hearing will be held by the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York, at Town Hall, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on May 24, 2017, at 7 p.m. o'clock, or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard, to consider the application of Joseph Capasso, submitted pursuant to Chapter 51 of the Town Code, for a public assembly permit to host a, quote, country festival, end the quote, at the premises located at 683 Route 311, Patterson, New York, 12563, on Saturday, June 17, 2017. At said public hearing, all persons interested in the subject matter thereof shall have the opportunity to be heard. A full and complete copy of the aforesaid application is on file with the town clerk and available for review. The town board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and/or reasonable accommodations should contact the town clerk. Dated May 12, 2017, by order of the town board of the town of Patterson, Antoinette Kopek, town clerk.
Again, I would ask that anybody who has any comments or questions on this application, if you could come up to the mic and give your name and address, we'd appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? Joe? You want to say anything?
I have one comment that this public hearing is relative to June 17th,
Correct.
but yet there's another one for July 15th.
Yes,
On
there
the
is.
agenda.
We received the preliminary application. It's not complete. We're awaiting more information on that one.
Okay, so we're just handling the June 17th event. Okay.
Hi, Joe Capasso, 683 Route 311 Patterson. I've had numerous events there, so it's kind of like repetitious, but this year I'm going through the process to make sure that everybody's on board and everything is legal there. So that's why I submitted the application. We don't know if we'll have 600 people or 500 people, we have no idea, but we want to be prepared.
Sure.
So, and we want to, comply. We don't want what happened a few years ago happen.
That would be good.
I know. You live and learn, right?
We do.
But yeah. So,
All right.
that's it. I appreciate it. Anybody else?
Member have any other questions?
I had more of a comment, not so much a question, so I don't know if we want to wait for when it's later down on the agenda or do it now.
I can't tell you because I don't know what your comment is.
So the comment is, Joe, that I saw that you have a petting zoo listed on the site plan, and that's adjacent to the food trucks. My question is, or statement is, that it would be great if we had some signage up around the petting zoo that reminded people to wash their hands prior to then going over to the food trucks, or at least after, regardless of the event, after.
Getting them printed.
Perfect. And what are they going to say?
Please wash hands after handling animals.
Thank you so much, because I think that's important. Whether they're going to the food court or not, children put their hands in their
We
mouths.
also have bottles of Purell. I just bought a ton.
Thank you.
Of Purell as well.
And then secondly, just a reminder to whoever is in that area that if they hear of any person, any child being bitten by any of the animals, to report it to health department. So an assessment can be done. That's all.
The animals all been vetted by a vet, and they have a health certificate.
Great, but that doesn't mean that if someone is bitten that they don't still need to get an assessment. It's only about preventing
Right.
anything unnecessary.
Well,
That's all I'm,
okay.
yeah. Not to the
These
town,
animals,
but to the
I
health
wouldn't,
department.
if these animals, as far as I'm concerned, they don't bite. They're babies.
Great.
They're not biting animals. I would
Good.
never. And all the animals have been vetted and have health certificates.
Great.
We've done that.
Great, thank you.
I do have several questions for you.
Go ahead.
They're all pretty minor. There are things that I would like to see supplemented on the application, such as, you say you're going to have a single dumpster out there, you don't tell us what size it is. Little things.
30-yarder,
That big?
that's the biggest they make.
I know that. You're going to put a 30-yarder out there?
Yeah, in the parking lot.
Oh.
That's why I put it every year.
Listen, I would have been comfortable with something much smaller and just knowing what the size is. And I think most of these, I could talk to you after,
Yeah.
all right? And we can just resolve it. We'll do the permit subject to approval by the town attorney.
If you want to mention the signs that Sean raised in it, it'll be...
That's fine. We've got to get the certificate of insurance too. We don't have that yet. We know that. So,
We have it. It had the wrong date on it.
that's good, but we don't have it.
I know.
I know.
Right?
The EMT contract, right?
We haven't seen the EMT contract, and I've got a question about the number of EMTs. So there are a few things. We can do this subject to the town attorney.
Yeah.
And they're really all minor, so. Okay?
Ministerial.
Ministerial, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions or comments on this application? Going once? Can I get a motion to close?
Make a motion to, sorry, go ahead. Close the public hearing. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm working here, give me a
All right,
break.
you're doing good.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Kevin.
All right. We are going to forego the audit of the bills for tonight. Mr. D'Andriano, you're up to bat.
Okay, first item on my agenda is the Putnam Lake Park Advisory Board. Some requests. First, I have an announcement for the Putnam Lake Piranha Swim Team. Piranhas will have advanced swimmers ages 6 to 16. Practices will be 5 days a week at Warren Beach from 9:30 to 11:30. If you'd like to get involved in the Putnam Lake Piranhas, register your child. You can register your child on May 21st and the 28th from noon to 2 at Warren Beach, or you also can register them at the town clerk's office at Town Hall. First child is $90, second child is $65, third child is $60, and then there's an out-of-district fee, which is an additional $50 per family. So it sounds like fun. Next item from the Putnam Lake Park District. They have an issue with their carp gate. I guess originally the town highway department was going to construct a carp gate that
Well-
we've been discussing for years.
Surprise, Russ. Actually, I had mentioned it to them that I wanted to talk about Russ about the construction of the carp gate, and apparently they didn't think much of that idea, so. But I still intend to talk to Mr. Goff, because they have over at Highway great expertise in this kind of construction, and get his input and see what he thinks about building it.
Okay, so we'll... Next item is to rehire two lifeguards and hire a new lifeguard. So I'd like to make a motion to hire Nikki Guardo, Tim Catalano, and a new lifeguard, PJ Farrell, at the rate of their budget, their approved budget for public lifeguards. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also like to make a motion to hire a head coach / coordinator, Cassie Speller, for the Putnam Lake swim team, and assistant coach, Mr. Poli, at the rate of $11.25 per hour, Cassidy Speller at a rate of $15 per hour, and Paul Farrell Jr. at the rate of $11.25 as a substitute in the event that the assistant coach is absent. So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is Club Court Park, the removal of the tree. Tree removal, we have 3 bids here. I'd like to make a motion to award the bid or the competitive pricing to Osario Tree Service for the amount of $1,800 for the tree removal. And actually, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution approving the removal of the tree not to exceed $1,800 for Osario Tree Service. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just so you all know, this, I've been working with Dennis trying to get this park spruced up a little bit more. I went out there, there was a dead elm that needs to come down. There was also a river birch that had grown out very precariously and had a very decayed bottom that was it had the potential of breaking off and dropping down on playground equipment and anybody that was there. So those are the trees we're taking down out there.
Okay. And also, I guess we put new mulch there,
We got the mulch in this week, yes.
Mulch went in,
Yep.
and, so
Actually,
there's been-
thanks to Russ Goff and the Highway Department, the mulch was all installed on Friday. And Dennis Mays, Building Department, they were out there.
so the park's getting spruced up. It had some
Yep.
new equipment last year, some new swings, and
Yes, and I've talked to somebody about about new cameras out there, because we put in new swings last year, and somebody brought a dog, even though dogs aren't allowed in that park, to chew the swings up. Brand new swings.
Okay. All right, my last item on the agenda is Patterson EMS request. We have a request here from our EMS coordinator for a striker stretcher. It's actually the striker stretcher and the stair chair for $43,182.62. Sounds like a lot of money, but this is a stretcher that is automatic, where it comes out and then it drops down. It's a one-person operation. It's a back saver. And the stair chair as well. It has tracks on it, and it's developed to really help you out and
True.
protect injuries from injuries. So.
We're talking about buying a stretcher that's a little bit more expensive with the intent that one of the biggest problems people with ambulances have is hurting their backs and going out on workers' comp. And we're looking to minimize the worker comp claims that we might experience in the town, which could be significant. So that's why we're spending a little bit more to get the right equipment.
That's where most back injuries in EMS come from, when they're lifting the stretcher into the ambulance. So if we can spend a little money up front and get a good stretcher, we could save a lot, like you said, save a lot of workers' comp cases down the road. So I'd like to make a motion to approve $43,182.62 for the stretcher and stair chair. So move.
Second.
Which includes installation.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? While we are here, I have a current budget for everybody on the EMS. I'm happy to report that we are right on track and doing well. So that is the good news. Thank you. Charlie.
Okay, first, our next item is recreation request. We've had a memo from our recreation director relative to personnel, and we're going to table that for tonight, as the supervisor and the recreation director have met, and there are certain unanswered questions, so we will table that issue for this evening. Next, we have notification from the Patterson Fire Department that they're adding a new member, John Barretto, at 85 Deacon Smith Road, Patterson. So I will make a motion that the town board approve Mr. John Barretto, 85 Deacon Smith Hill Road in Patterson, as a member of the Patterson Fire Department. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a quote from Gregorio Chambers,
Dell Computer Services.
Dell Computer Services. Oh, that's the rep. Okay. Dell Computer Services with regard to renewing the warranty for service to the computers and software, et cetera, here in Town Hall. So I will make a motion that Town Board approve the agreement with Dell in an amount of $1,184.53. So moved.
Second.
And that's for a 2-year contract.
2-year.
All in favor?
Aye. Go, Sean.
Okay. Okay, first item is we have, or at least first item on my agenda, is a request from the Veterans Memorial Park. They have a vacancy that has only about 7 or 8 months left on the unexpired term. There was a gentleman who attended the last Veterans Memorial Park meeting, and there was a recommendation received from the chair. So I would like to make a motion to fill the unexpired term, which would end on December 31st of this year, to William Yellett, who is of 18 North Street in Patterson. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And we have a request from the supervisor of the chairman of the Veterans Park Board to hire Matt Hawney. He's a lifeguard. Hire him. I'd say it.
Hockney.
Hockney, I'm sorry, at the rate as per the budget. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And we have the approval for the assembly permit for the Country Festival, of which we spoke about earlier. So I'll make a motion to introduce the resolution with the items that the supervisor mentioned. So subject to the approval of the supervisor and the town attorney, I will move this resolution for approval of this assembly permit. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I wish you a fantastic event. Gets me thinking that with all the events you're doing, that we could have the one survey that we were talking about with the site plan on there and have it all set so that it's a simple reoccurring, much less work.
There's three more coming.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk very briefly about number 2 while we're here. Just so we're clear, sit there. You can stay there. You're the applicant. You need to get the application in. I'm going to be relying on you to get the application in, even though I know there are others involved in it, and making sure the application is complete. But it's all going to fall on your shoulders, Joe. So. Okay. Okay. First on my agenda is Woman of Distinction. I have a recommendation to the board. I'm not going to share it because I haven't talked to the lady yet. Is everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Fine.
Yep.
If not, I have somebody else that I think is equally as deserving that I will contact them. All right, so I will handle that and notify Senator Murphy. This is our selection for Woman of the Year, and I will announce it at the next meeting. Next on my agenda is a resolution for the zoning amendments that we had a public hearing on earlier. And without objection, I'd like to move this resolution and ask that it be entered into the record as though read. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the last on my agenda is every year the town is required by New York State DEC to prepare a report on our MS4 program, what we've done in the past year, what the status of our program is, and we are also required to offer it to the public for comment. So this is just to announce that the report has been prepared. It is up on our website. It will be up there for another week. If anybody has any comments, please feel free to contact my office. And that concludes my agenda. Mr. Burns, you're up.
All righty. I know the item that you've all been waiting for, budget transfers. Budget transfer request 17 is engineering contractual. It's transferring $13,000 from contingent account to engineering contractual. Budget transfer 18 is special counsel, transferring $27,500 from contingent account to special counsel contractual. Budget transfer request 19 is a highway transfer, $6,500 from general repairs contractual to machine equipment and outlay contractual. Budget transfer request 20 is Putnam Lake Fire Department workers' compensation, moving $6,449 of appropriated fund balances to workers' compensation. Or actually, I think this is a mistake. They can't increase the lines, can they?
What's the issue?
Both are an increase. One should be a decrease. No?
The first one should be a decrease.
So the first one. So we should be taking out $6,449. So the first one should be a decrease in appropriated fund balance and an increase in workers' comp for $6,449. Budget transfer request 21, transferring $1,522 from highway under general repairs contractual to unallocated insurance contractual. And that is all the budget transfer requests. So I make a motion to approve those transfer requests as read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item on my agenda refers to the application that we were talking about for the event that Joe is having on July 15th. Are we going to set a public hearing for this, or
We're not
what's-
at this point because it's an incomplete application. I was hoping to get the information in because we are getting close.
So when would we need to set the public hearing in order to have?
Absolutely, the next meeting for the following meeting.
Okay, so, Joe, you can get it in by the next meeting or to the supervisor's office?
Yeah, we have it all ready for you.
Okay. All right, so is there anything more to,
Tomorrow, right?
so,
That's fine.
okay, great.
I'm not in the morning, so I'm down my other job at the East of Hudson.
And then I will defer my executive session personnel to executive session, I'll defer that to after the meeting. And I have one item to add to my agenda, which was actually trying to assign dates for the Putnam Lake Advisory Board.
God bless you.
Well, I finally remembered, I'm like, well, I think we better do this, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so I printed out the park schedule. I picked two. I picked June 1st and November 2nd for no real reason, but I just figured if we pass it along the dais, maybe everybody can sign up. You've already done one, so you should only have to sign up for one. And Pete's
Listen,
probably done a couple already, so if you do two, you do one.
That's fine.
I
you
figure I'm
probably-
just going to fill in the blanks.
Right, so
Yeah.
I'll just pass it around the dais, so. And are you going to cover the golf outing for Putnam Lake?
You want to announce that? I've got
Okay,
it.
all right.
If you want to announce it, that's fine.
Okay. We've received notice that the Sacred Heart Church is having its annual golf hearing on Monday, June 26th. What did I say? Outing? Hearing, outing. It's the attorney in me. Sacred Heart Church is having their golf outing. Registration starts at 10 o'clock, and it's a 10 p.m., 12 noon, rather, shotgun start. It's being held at the Putnam County Golf Course, located at 187 Hill Street in Mayapack. The cost is $160 per player, which includes green fees and carts for 18 holes, lunch, dinner, and refreshments, and a hole-in-one contest for a 2017 Chrysler. So if anyone is interested, we have a registration form for anyone who might want to participate. Also, in the past, I know the town board has sponsored a hole at the rate of $100. Does everybody want to go in $20 each, and we'll sponsor a hole on behalf of the town board?
Yes.
Have I covered it all? Yes. All right. So, we will, as a town board, individually contribute for the a sponsor of one hole for each of us going in for $20, and that is all. And I have my $20.
I see that.
I am now giving this to the supervisor.
Hang on.
I never said I was collecting, but I appreciate the money.
I see someone in the audience who might collect.
Really?
That is all I have.
Camera.
Ed, you accept library cards?
Anything but a check. All right, anyone else have any other business?
No, sir.
Okay, I have just one quick thing. We received a letter today from Boy Scout Troop 228 seeking a permit to canoe through the Great Swamp to Pine Island and camp on the island overnight. And I just want everybody to know that I did send them an email back saying that the town really had no problem with issuing a permit for them to use our boat launch, but that Pine Island was in private ownership, and gave them the contact information of the people to contact. So they're aware of that. If anybody has any questions. Public recognition. Any member of the audience have anything they would like to bring before the board? Anybody who wants to go out and enjoy the daylight that's still out there? Going once.
Oh, you wanted that's a good reminder.
Yes, just so everybody knows, Memorial Day Monday is coming up. The Veterans of Foreign War in Putnam Lake chapter, VFW, sponsors a parade over in Putnam Lake at 10 o'clock. They do a very nice ceremony over at the monument. There's a short parade. And the town of Patterson sponsors a parade down Route 311 in the hamlet here. That starts at 1 o'clock at the Veterans Memorial at Maple Avenue and 311. There's a brief ceremony there. We are then going to march down Route 311 to the firehouse, where there will be a closing ceremony. And plenty of hot dogs provided by the fire department.
Which will both be over and wonderful events by the time this airs. But for
I know
everyone
that.
here, it's great.
That's true.
Yeah. But
All
very.
right, can I get a motion to go into executive session?
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.